Swing Speaks is all about. This is where the two powerhouses, the two powerful organizations come together and we unite. A lot of you are doing great things throughout your communities, you know, but the other part of the world, the other part of the country, they have no idea what's going on. There's a lot of information, a lot of education, a lot of things that we can share with our brothers and sisters, some information they may not have heard of, and may inspire them to reach that goal that they're looking for, and maybe even uh, get the career that they enjoy. There's a saying that if you love what you do, you're not working. If you really truly love what you do, you really aren't working. Okay, all right. So anyway, Sister Sorora, I want to welcome you again to the set. Uh, and
Thank
Groove
you.
Swing Speaks, this is what we do. We want to mentor the youth. We want to also provide resources when we can and where we can in our communities. And I'm so proud of both organizations. Sabur Muhammad, owner of Heart Desire Gifts, Kings Mountain, North Carolina, lead Sensei, independent, is that Sensei? Independent
Since,
consultant.
mhm.
Okay, have over 25 years of experience with fragrances. Member of Swing since 2017, mom of three adult children, a mother in law, and grandmother of one. Okay, outside of fragrances, she's also passionate about the youth. And so we are, so are we here. She's worked with many years with children of different ages, whether a cheer coach, coordinator, or site director, instilling skills and cultural awareness will always resonate with her. She says, in quote, and I quote, "It takes a village." Welcome to the set, Sister Sabora. Um, I
Thank you.
want to thank you. I have so many questions, and matter of fact, we're only going to be on for about an hour, and I have so many questions. So I'm going to let the panel start off first because the questions I have could take the entire hour. Because we want to get into some other things as far as not only your business acumen, but also your passion for children and learning. So I'm gonna let Brother Robert. Well, let me check back with Tanisha real quick and see what's happening. Still have a little bit of that going on, Tanisha. Okay, tell you what I
Yeah, I
want
can
you.
hear it. Mhm.
Okay, okay, log all the way out.
Sure.
Okay, and then try to log it back in. Okay.
And I'm gonna try for my iPhone, see if that works too as well.
Okay, well log out of this one.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna let Brother Hicks start this off with any questions or comments about this, our dear sister.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Sister Muhammad, for being on the show tonight. And we appreciate you taking your time out of your very busy schedule. I'm sure they'll be here. And I definitely had a chance to read through a background here. What made you decide to go into business for yourself and the steps of being an entrepreneur in doing Heart Desire Gifts?
Oh, that's a lot wrapped up in that. Well, initially, I always like working for myself. Since an early age, I just like having my own money, being my own boss. But the the oil business came about. Probably in my 20s. Well, he's passed away now, but my husband was in the Nation of Islam, so he sold a lot of things and items. So one of that was the body oils and incense, and even after he passed, that just resonated with me. Is I just love fragrances and the smile it put on people's faces because they like remember. Um, there might be memories that's associated with a scent. So I've been doing the body oils the longest, making my own lotions, and then he also used to blend the oils together. So I
Hmm.
just kind of kept his recipes, and then I would add my own. And a lot of my items is mostly it. It's kind of like to me artwork. So it's sometimes I might not make the same blend. Um, I might make it to fit your personality or what I think a person's not like. You might tell me things you like, and then I'll put those together and blend my own scents as well. So
So
Yes,
you
yes.
put everything together and you make it so that you have a great experience for the person, for the individual, the person, and get a real good.
yes, I have done those. Yeah, sometimes people might say, I like this, or I'll say, give me a second, let me think about that, and then I can kind of cater it to what you like and what you wear. So that's
Interesting.
just always brought me a lot of, I don't know, just happiness to me. Like I said, to see people have those experiences. So that's how that came about as far as doing my own oil business and, like I said, incense, soaps, and that sort of thing.
Mm. All right. Tanisha, I'm gonna let her go. Like I said, I have a whole ton of questions here, and I've been accused of hogging the broadcast, Sabora, so I don't want
Well,
to.
okay.
Oh, it's your show.
No, no. Let me correct you, my dear brother. You're rarely wrong, but this time you are. It's our show. It's Groove Swing Speaks. It's not William A. Brown, CEO of Studio W Buzz. It's not any of that, and I mean that
And he put
because
that plug in there, definitely, just but
I had to do that. No, seriously, Sabora, uh, Robert, Tanisha, Clayton's out on assignment. Craig, I believe he's out on assignment. Also, Mark should be joining us uh, shortly, and Tiffany. And these ladies and gentlemen, they put their time and effort into making this show what it is. So I have to acknowledge them. So nope, it's not my show. As a matter of fact, if you look, like I have right in the title there, I'm a panelist, just like Tanisha, Robert, and the rest of them. So nope, brother Robert, I think this is the only time we've disagreed on anything.
and that's okay, because the idea of being able to hear each other's sides is important, and
It
also
is.
that's what's important. That's what makes the show grow, and also it just makes it that you hear each other, because in between the conversation is the truth, and that's
Okay.
where we are here today.
Inclusivity. And we're going to talk about inclusivity also when we get back to you. But I'm going to toss it over to Tanisha. Tanisha, when we were talking earlier today and we were talking about our dear sister, Sabora, and we talked about what it is that she does. You said, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of questions to ask her and some comments. So you have to take the floor.
Okay, I do. Hola, I just say hola and hello to you.
Hola.
So of course you do, like, I guess you're like a mixologist when it comes to mixing your different fragrances and things like that too as well, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
humble answer. Yes.
Humble answer. Okay, because I actually make soap. I actually make cold pressed soap.
Okay.
Yeah, so so sometimes it's hard to actually locate different fragrances that actually works pretty good, like in the saponification process when you're making soap, because you may trace too quickly, or it may make the soap real lumpy or something like that. So tell me a little bit about your products that may be beneficial for me who makes soaps kind of on a larger scale, because some of my soaps are actually in Ace Hardware, so I have to take Sundays out and start making soaps for the store, things like that too as well. So tell me a little about what do you actually use to mix your fragrances, or do you use like lavenders, cold press? I mean, just tell me your process a little bit.
Okay.
So I want to purchase some oils from you.
Okay. So for me, with the Heart Desire Gifts aspect, that's more of the fragrant oils. Like I don't want to say commercial, but they smell similar to something you might get in a perfume or perfume. But also I'm wear many hats. So for me to have wraparound with smells and my scents, I also am a distributor for Nature Sunshine. So that would probably be more what you would need, because that company, which I have used them for over 25 years, they've been around since 1972. So it's a company that I do trust a lot for their quality of their products, because if it's not up to par, they will not let you purchase. So it comes off the market. It'll tell you it's out of stock. But Nature Sunshine has those pure essential oils that you would probably need for the soap.
Okay.
more of it has they have natural oils like I put in my diffuser. They don't market it to, I mean, I'm an independent distributor for Scentsy. They don't market it for you to really use on your skin. So I don't suggest it because that's not what they sell it for. It goes into like oil diffusers. But the Nature Sunshine products definitely would be something that you would be able to use in the soaps.
So it's safe for the skin, it's safe for like lotion products and things like that.
Because I use it like with carrier oils if I'm doing things. Because I'm very much into the aromatherapy. Definitely. So for me, is different businesses give me the components of what I need to kind of offer everything to somebody. So whatever you want a scent for, I pretty much can do that. So whether it's the house, the car, your body, the office, yeah. So I do that.
What about candles? Because I have a problem. I try to do what you call clean burning candles, like soy base. So it's like your burn throw, and sometimes with the burn throw, sometimes that you don't have that pungent smell or fragrance when it comes to your candles when you light them up. So the products actually, are they really really good when it comes to the burn throw when it comes to soy candles?
Well, that's where the Scentsy comes in at. The Scentsy products, we don't use the word burn. And that I have been with them for 11 years. So we don't burn because you're warming it, and they actually warmed into warmers.
I got it. Okay.
So you don't have the fire, so it's safe in that aspect. So you don't have to worry about somebody knocking it over. And Scentsy does not use soy, because that's questionable and that's argumentative. Some people like soy and believe in it, but for Scentsy, it's paraffin wax. So it's no different than, I don't know if they still do it a lot because of COVID, but when you go to the nail salon and you put your hand in that paraffin wax to give your hands that smoothness, that's what their wax is made out of. So it's safe for kids, safe for you. So if you put your hand in, of course, if you hold any, it's safe enough for you to put your hand in it. That's not what you're doing, but that's why they use the paraffin wax, and it has a very good scent throw.
Okay, very good scent throw. Okay, so does yours
because
have
they're looking at what their warmers warm their wax. Can you use something else? People do. However, I don't. I always stick their wax because they have warmers with different levels of light bulbs. If that makes like a 15, a 20, a 25. And that's so it can melt their wax in those warmers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So depending on what size warmer you have to how much heat and warmth you need to melt the wax.
You're talking about like the flash point, because like what's the highest level for the flash points in some oil?
I think we do have warmers. I don't have any personally and never have used them, but I want to say we have one that's 35 watts. But most of the ones I use at home is 25. I don't really use the 20, and then we have some that don't take bulbs at all. It's called an element warmer, and it's like it reminds you of when you sit your regular candles on like that hot plate or your cup of coffee on that little warmer thingy. So yeah, we do have warmers called element warmers that doesn't have light bulbs at all. It's just warming that wax.
All right, and my last question. I've been trying to find a fragrance for my soaps in the press process for President Obama, Michelle Obama's fragrance. It's really hard to find a fragrance like that. Do you think that you can mix that up or formulate something like that for me that I can actually use in my cold press soaps?
Well, I mean, they actually have that. I mean, I don't know, like I said, not in essential, but in the body oils. They do have a Michelle one and an Obama one. And like, even when I use those, even though it's made for the skin, I have those warmers that you put the tea light candle. I put water and then I put some of those oils in it. So when it warms, it gives you that scent throw, which that's not Scentsy. That's just something that I go back and forth. Honestly, I love Scentsy. I love the brand, but sometimes I just want that good old fashioned instant burning in the house for the mood and that. So it just depends on my mood, and I'm very much like that with my fragrances. It just depends on what I'm wearing, where I'm going, what mood I'm in. That's what I'm going to smell like.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can definitely help you if you reach out to me later.
I will most definitely. Definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, welcome, Tiffany.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, how are you? Okay. Yeah, welcome to the set. I knew that after speaking to our sister Saburo. Uh, she's quite a conversationalist, quite a
Mhm.
conversationalist, and I enjoyed so much. And I'm gonna toss it over to you, Tiffany, in a minute. And then I want to get into some other things. Like I said, I have so many questions, but I'm not going to hog the show. Okay, but anyway, you mentioned something about now your company, you produce your or distribute your own oils, and did you also say body lotions?
Yes. So I don't actually make my oils, but I do when I order them, I try to find the best quality oil.
Uh-huh.
Basically with me, I don't sell anything I wouldn't wear or use.
Okay.
So if it's safe for me and I like it, that's what I go with.
Okay.
Yeah, I do take those oils and I make my own blends of lotion, body lotion, and it's vegan friendly because I don't do a lot of different things. So it's just a better quality to make sure it's safe for everybody. So even if it's someone who doesn't want to smell, which I think that's weird. But anyway, because I'm definitely a fragrance person.
Uh,
But I can make someone some unscented lotion, but usually, yes,
no.
I'm put my oils in there or my blends, like I said, in there. So even before
Okay.
this show, I put my oil in my diffuser in my office space right
Right.
here and change my wax and my warmers because now that puts me in a certain mood. So
Wow. Oh, we got to talk about that too. Oh my God, we only have an hour too. Oh God, we might go a few minutes over. It just depends. Okay.
that's
Uh,
fine.
but, but let me just share this with you.
Mm,
Okay. I moved. We started this station about 10 years ago in Southern California, and then I found the opportunity to move back here on the East Coast. I'm in my hometown right now, my home city, Richmond, Virginia.
okay.
And when I was in California, I found this African shop, and this gentleman, he made, oh my God, it was the best lotion, and it was and then he had a, a really nice African musk or Egyptian musk scent in that ocean, in that lotion, right?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. And that's one of my favorite fragrances. And then um my favorite cologne, oh, I hate to give the guys my secret here, is Blue Day Chanel. Blue Day Chanel, it's an oil, right? So I have the
Mhm.
oil and I have the cologne, and it does attract attention. So, but let me get get this to you.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
It, yeah, if
let's
you're being
about,
real, a
let's
lot of
talk.
people don't want to share what they wear. I get that all the time. Don't tell
Yeah.
nobody, or they'll buy the whole quantity so nobody will smell what you wear.
I
And
don't
I'm
want
like, that's
everyone
not
walking
my
around.
business. I need you to tell
You know,
people what you wear.
if it's working, I don't want these other guys picking up on it. Okay. So
Understood.
we we don't weaken the pool. But the whole idea. So you will say, for instance, how do we put in orders? Say if something that we want. I
Mhm.
don't know whether you do you say we order something. You put it together yourself and then you ship it. How does that process work?
Yes, I can. For the most part, I just kind of order what I already know my customers like or me. And
Oh,
I just
okay.
let them know what I have. But yeah, if I take certain or like if that was one you wanted, then usually I'll reach out. I really don't do post it a lot, like as far as what I have, because it moves so fast. So that
Mhm.
means I'm constantly will be changing it every day. And sometimes I don't get how can I I don't keep the same fragrances all the time. So I'm always rotating because I have people who have been my customers for 25 years. So they
Hmm.
some of them want the newest whatever. They always
Okay.
want the new. Then I have some people that's what they like and that's all they want.
Okay.
So yeah, usually I can ship and I have shipped.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Well,
not a
you have
problem.
another you have another customer here. Okay, let's go to Tiffany real quick, and we'll go back, and then Mark. Mark is on this set as well. Ladies and gentlemen, meet. Introduce Tiffany. She's a regular on this. She's one of the panelists as well, and then Mark Daniels and I. Again, Tiffany. There's so much about this our sister here, and there's so many questions I have. Uh, I sent you a little information about her. Uh, what questions do you have?
Uh, I'm trying to think. I know you. I don't know if you all already covered this or not, but I know you said that you have a passion for working with children, correct? Or with the
No, we
youth.
didn't get that far yet.
We're gonna get there. Okay,
That's
we're
fine.
gonna
I'm
go to
open.
fragrances first. That's okay, and that is. I'm glad you reminded me because we're gonna get to that. But I want to get all of these questions out because when we go to, do you have any questions about fragrances before I go to Mark Tiff?
Um, fragrances. Okay, here's a question. Do you have people that come to you and they ask if you could? I'm pretty sure you have. Where they ask you if you could mix certain type, like let's just say if it was like a well known fragrance, like I don't know, something similar to Dior, or saying, and mix it with something similar to Chanel. Do you have something like that, or can you do those sort of things?
That's a great question.
Well, mostly, if it's a name brand, I leave it the way it is.
Hmm.
But yeah, I may take some of those and mix it. And usually it's again, I'm off of my mood. So I might
Hmm.
say, oh, I like that smell, and that smell goes well with something else. Because I've been
Hmm.
doing it so long that in my mind I can smell that, or I might hold them both up and with it, and I'm like, okay, that would smell good. But usually I'll leave it alone. But I do have people that I do customize for, as well as myself.
Mhm.
You
What
know,
are your price ranges?
usually my small ones is 5 up to usually no more than like 20, 25. It's not expensive. I haven't really changed the prices throughout the years. Now I
Mhm.
will say it just depends on my distributor, if I gotta ship, if it's costing me more, or for the
Mhm.
bottles at that time. So it
Mhm.
might, but usually not drastically.
No,
So
Okay.
it's usually in that price range. Yeah.
that sounds very reasonable. And again, I'm going to put in my order, and I have your number, so I'm
Okay.
calling you. I need that lotion and that. Okay. Anyway, I'm not
Yeah.
giving
So
away any
yeah, I
more.
love doing
I'm
the
not giving
steps.
away any more secrets here.
You
Hey,
like
Mark,
you don't want to smell like everybody.
and I don't want it.
Doing
No,
that
that's
one for
exactly
you.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I'm not
That's
an
exactly.
Egyptian musk person, but I do like the red Egyptian musk because most people don't wear that. Got to
Mhm.
remember
Ah,
that.
okay. Now. Oh my. Can you describe now? What's the name of it?
Red Egyptian musk. It's a different take
Red
on
Egyptian
Egyptian
musk.
musk.
I think I've had that before. Huh.
Yeah.
That might
Yeah,
be
see,
the
that's
one.
me. So I'm not Egyptian musk person because everybody wear that. But I gotta always
Uh-huh.
be a little different. Yeah.
Okay, all right. We'll talk off air. Don't give any more away right now. Okay, okay.
No
Let's
problem.
talk about the business aspect of it because you being a business woman, and you said now you've been in business, if I recall, 25 years,
You're over that.
over 25 years,
Mhm.
and Mark being a business person, myself, and yours truly being a business person, and I believe Tanisha is a business person too in her own right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to starting your business. Not only a lot of people can start a business, but to
Mhm.
be maintain that business. Most businesses go out with between 3 and 5 years, and you've been able to maintain yours for 25 years. And so I'm going to toss it over to Mark. And Mark, maybe you have some questions about uh, her fragrances, and you also may want to talk to her about how did she stay in business, whatever your question is. But that's something. That's where I'm going with this next. Mark.
Okay, good evening, sister. My first question would be, well, when you're correct, we were living out in California, and I'm still really big on uh scents, and so for me, a lot of times I will buy the oils, and I like burning them in my home. I like a decent smell in my home, but I shied away from the different oils they say you could put on your skin because I was always kind of reserved about that because I didn't know what I was putting on myself, and I didn't want to find out the hard way if I was putting on something that may not or should not, be on me. I guess my question would be: what is better when it comes to burning, your home? Is it the candle? Is the oil? Which gives you the longer fragrance, within your home, when you're using those?
Mhm. Well, that's a couple of things wrapped into that. You are correct about being mindful of what you put on your skin. Like I said, like my distributor has been my distributor probably for 25 years. Now he's a little hard to get up with, so that threw me for a loop because I do care about the quality. You have to be mindful. It hits on what you brought up with the body oils. Some people cut it. I don't cut
Mm.
mine. They are uncut. So when they're cutting it, they are putting chemicals in it that's
Wow.
not good for your skin. So even though like some people say, "Oh, I could pick this up from Dollar General," that's not the same. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the same oil necessarily. Some people you might get at, I don't know, here they're big on flea
Mm.
market. So
Mhm.
you might go to the flea market, but theirs might not be the same quality as mine. So they might say, "Oh, I'm gonna give you 3 bottles of oil for $5." Yeah, that
Mm.
sounds good, but it might not be good for you. So
No.
mine is uncut, which means I don't put other additives even to stretch it. To me, the quality is I like the quality. Like I don't know if you were on when I said this earlier. I don't sell anything I wouldn't use or wear.
Mhm.
And so I've, like I said, wore oils for over 25 years, probably longer than that. Because I'm originally from Jersey. So that's a big thing up there. Stop, get you some oils. As far as with your home though, the warmers that I do sell with Scentsy, that's a actually really good product because their wax goes with the warmer. So we're not burning that. So you have that
Mm.
consistent warmth going through the home to give you that scent throw. If you do use the warmers that take the tea light candles, you have to remember that's only going to get but so warm, so hot.
Mhm.
And it's going to go out. Then you got to get another one and light it back up. With these, they plug right into the wall.
Right.
So you're going to constantly get that. And then we also have something that's, if you're worried about the wax, if you have children, even though it's children and animal safe, we sell what they call pods. And it's run by a fan. So the fan circulates and pushes the air through the pods. So we have, like I said, something for everybody, really.
Mm. So you
So that's,
sell those warmers as well.
I'm sorry.
So you sell those warmers also, right?
Yes, that's through Scentsy. That's where I'm the independent
Wow.
consultant for them, as
Mm.
well as having a downline. So that's helpful too. So I have to
Mhm.
kind of keep up with them and keep them motivated and pushing them as well. So I do enjoy it though. So that's
Yeah.
my happy.
You're giving me some ideas here now. Interesting.
And it's like
Oh,
warmers for everybody, every occasion,
uh-huh.
anything. Yeah.
So I could get that scent going all through my house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or in the
I like that.
studio, Steve, put it in the background.
Okay. Hey, guys, don't read anything else into this, right? Don't. All right. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I want to talk about your knowledge. I'm checking out not only what you're saying, but your knowledge behind what you're doing. I mean, so where did you grasp this knowledge? Did you Did you go to school? Have you been studying it over the last a couple of decades or so? I find your knowledge so expansive about
Oh,
what you're
thank you.
doing.
Thank
Yeah, yeah,
you.
absolutely. So
No,
tell
no
us.
school, no formal training. I've always been a learner. So I'm going to research. I'm going to look up stuff. I feel like if I sell it, and that's part of, I think it was mentioned about how do you stay in business for a long time,
Mm,
is knowing your product. I can't, like, again, can't sell
mhm,
it if I don't know. So if I don't know what something is, well, nowadays we could Google. Back then you couldn't. So it is just listening, learning, trial and error with some things. Sometimes stuff don't smell quite right. Then, you're just like, hey, if you like it, it's yours. So,
mm,
uh, so it's just, just really just reading different things, going to different conferences, learning the product line. So I do read a lot of the, like say with the Scentsy, there are some people who just sell it, but then there's some of us who actually go read their product descriptions. What is it that I'm
mm,
selling? How is that made? I will have to show you, but we have like fragrance flowers. It takes place of the reed diffusers with those sticks that stick out of the oil.
mhm.
We sell flowers. So you could just sell it, or you could go figure out what exactly. I'm sorry. What exactly is it? They're made out of solar wood, which is carved. So they handmade flowers that soaks in the oil up through the flower petals. If that makes, I know you probably can't have a visual on that, but it's really pretty.
No, it's absolutely incredible. Your
Like,
amount of knowledge and you
solar. I've
taking the
never heard
time.
solar wood, and it's like, what is that? So I'll go Google it. Then I'm on YouTube, so I'm going down that rabbit hole sometimes. But did actually see people carve those and make those flowers.
Hmm. You know, I know the panel can appreciate this too, because in order for success in anything, you need to know
Mhm.
two things. You need to know your customer, and you need to know your product.
Definitely.
Because someone comes to you with a question, the most embarrassing thing to do for somebody who's selling something, not having the answer to the question. Oh, well, you're not going to sell it. Just forget about it. It's done over. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, but
Tanisha,
sometimes you might not know something because I was a little nervous. So y'all might ask me something, but I will honestly say I don't know versus guessing to give you wrong information. I'm, more of a factual person. So then I'll get back to you because I'm gonna go find out.
absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. Tanisha, my thing was,
Mhm.
and I don't know what questions you have next, but she's gone over her education because not in a formal setting, but you went out and learned on your own, which is much applauded as far as I'm concerned. Okay. And the time it took for you to become successful, before I toss it over to Tanisha, what did you, in the beginning, what challenges did you have in business and something you may be able to share with our audience that's thinking about opening up their own business and see, hey, Mark, and Tanisha, Tiffany, and Robert, hey, to be able to sustain in a business, it is very difficult. Tell us what challenges, some of the challenges that you had, and how do you overcome, and why, were there certain times where you say, hey, ah, God, this isn't going right. And did you ever think about quitting?
Oh gosh. Yes. Oh, because like I said, I do so many things on different platforms. So I guess one of the challenges has been being in a brick and mortar. Because that's of course a lot of bills that come with that. You have to have the sales to pay that light bill and pay that rent. So
Mm,
and I just had to realize every business works different. So I am a home-based business at this point.
mhm,
Because that's just a lot of pressure. To be in that big brick and mortar, making sure customers come there, trying to host things and get them to come there.
mhm.
So, and trying to not necessarily do business on someone else's level or another, um, creating your own business and not really following somebody else's model.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm black first. So I'm gonna always try to think of my that's my customer base for a lot of business dealings. But what I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not following somebody else's model plan of what a
mm,
business should look like. And I think that's key because it's different for different people. So
mm.
my next, what I like to do, my next plan is really to be more mobile, to have like a mobile, because Heart Desire Gifts is all of those things I listed to you,
Oh,
and
that's
then
cool.
gift baskets. So I want to be able to pull up into my
Wow.
trailer and pull up to a venue, and you can come shop in there, like a mobile store, mobile gift shop. So
I
that's on
love
the that's in the plans.
Well,
So
look at,
it's rough and it's hard. I'm not gonna say that it's
oh,
not.
it
Yeah,
is not being in
COVID,
business.
yeah, made a whole lot come out for me. How can I still move?
Wow.
Yeah, it kind of made me stronger during the COVID time.
Isn't
So
that
I
something?
utilized that. Yeah.
Right. And Mark, that's what I find so fascinating. Business people like you and Sister Sabora, being able to manage and maintain, because you told a story a few months back about you being, were you fired or you quit or something because you worked for a major corporation and you decided to say, hey, this is not going to happen to me again. So you started your own business.
Well, no, what happened is the plant I was at closed, and for me at that point, I said, I'll probably always, to some point, have to work in corporate America, but I wanted to put myself in a position to where if a situation occurred, I could continue to do what I needed to do and handle my business and maintain my life. And I didn't want to put it in the hands of anyone else but myself. And, that's what, drove me to get in a position of knowing no one will ever control my destiny but me. And I've kept it that way.
I love that.
Absolutely. Sabura, I have another question. And Tiffany, you can jump in here. We're going to switch to education in a little bit, Tiff. I promise you that. I promise you. I want to know, Sister Sabura, who inspired you? That because I feel an energy there, a passion there, a no quit attitude. Say, hey, look, pardon this. Okay, I don't mean it in a harmful way. It's like a bull in the china shop. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get out of my way. That the strength that you have, where did that come from?
Oh wow! So I never had anybody ask that.
Of course,
I would probably
I'm just
say,
teasing.
initially from my mom. She's no longer with us.
Oh,
My mom was a young mom, but she was a very
mhm.
and see that might go into that whole education, that you got questions.
Right.
But, so even though she was a young mom, she was very on top of things. So I can't say if I went without, I didn't know because my mom just fulfilled that.
Mm.
So for me, it started even earlier than probably you would normally work. I had that vision to want to help my mom. Or if I wanted certain things, she took care of my needs. I got my wants by working. So it was just something that it was always there in me. She helped to nurture that. So watching her maybe not work traditional jobs, just always
Mm.
being kind of on the grind, and me either sometimes tagging along, being with her. Um, and
Mhm.
obviously that's how we moved here to the South. But and just watching that when she really couldn't, there you go. Sometimes when they won't open the door, she created her own. So she was
I
going to
love it.
make that things was taken care of. So it's like you're not necessarily they might not open the door in regular corporate jobs. She was always told she was overqualified. No.
you know, I can appreciate that. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that because I was told that once before, and so I interviewed for this company real quick. I'm gonna go to Tiffany in a little bit because we're gonna jump on education. And I went to this firm. I was in California, and I'm not gonna give them a plug because they don't pay us commercial money or anything like that. So, but anyway, I went to that company, and the boss, I mean the president, he said, "You're overqualified." I said, "Okay, well, can I have your job then?" I did. I swear
Wow.
to God, that is a true story. And you know what he did? He gave me, he says, "No, Mr. Brown, you can't have my job, but I recommend you go to this other company here. They're much larger than we are, and I'm sure they will hire you there." And I went there, and they did. But there's no question about it. And then I ended up coming back to that corporation a few years later. It's a crazy cycle, crazy story, and it's called life. One more thing I
Yeah,
want to
and that's
ask.
true. Like, see, and that's I've been told that because I do have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and my specialty is juvenile justice. But
Okay.
sometimes, well, like I said, I have children, and when times get hard, you start to look. I just need a job, and it's like, oh no, you're too overqualified
Yeah.
because it might have been like plant or in this area, that's a lot of plant and mill jobs. And they were like, but you're not going to stay, which is true. But right now, I just need a job. I didn't tell them that. But a lot of times you'll get that. But again, it was about just learning to pave my own way. And sometimes we don't want to admit I'm a good team player, but I also like being my own boss. I like to be able to maneuver and do
Yeah,
things
man.
my way and my vision. So my mom was that first step into that. And then also, like I mentioned earlier, being married to my husband in my early 20s. And with him being in the Nation of Islam, you're taught to do for self. So that sort of teachings, I can say that developed it even more so. So I can't say I am where I am without that component. I can never leave that out.
Oh, outstanding, outstanding. I have a lot more questions to ask, so you're going to have to.
If something happens, it's storming here, so I don't know how long or what may happen. So I'm just letting
Okay,
you know.
well then we're going to go next because I have so many other questions about your fragrance business. We're going to
Mhm.
talk. I need to place an order, but I'm going to go to Tiffany because she wanted to, and I thought I was going to do it at the half.
Mhm.
Talk about your passion for children and how you are involved with children. We will talk about that.
Okay.
Tiffany, I want you to start this segment off, and whatever question you have, and then let's go to Tanisha and then Robert. All right, let's do this. Tiff, is your mic muted?
Sorry. I see that you have three. You say you have three adult children. Did
Mhm.
you always wanted to have a big family, or you was just like,
Oh
whatever you
God,
got?
they're listening. Can I answer that? I'm gonna say no. I'm the only child of my mom. So I probably that traditional. I probably saw myself with maybe two. A boy and a girl, probably like everybody. The boy being the older, then the daughter, but it didn't happen that way. So yeah, three definitely not. I never seen myself as a widow in my early 20s. So my middle child father passed when we were in our middle 20s. So I definitely did not see that happening. To be a mom of two at that time, by myself.
Got you. My other question with that is a lot of people that don't see themselves having a lot of children, they
Mhm.
end up having a lot of children outside of their family. So is that the case with you? Like, do you have a lot of people that may say, "Hey, Miss Sabora," like, they call you like, their play mom or, or
Mhm.
auntie or
Mhm.
whatever. So do you have a lot of outside children?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Because I was always because of my sons, I was the soccer mom. Everybody jumping. I was the minivan, so I had that typical life. So every sport they played, yeah, and it's like all these, hey mom, or it just it gravitated a lot like that, but I love it, and I love the fact that they would come here. So what your children doing as well, but that give you that time to kind of give that advice because they would come to me. Some of them come to me and ask me things. They can call me whenever. So yeah, it kind of gravitated from just my children to other people. And like I said, I love it because I love to see how young people minds work and develop.
Okay. I'll let the next one go.
I guess that'll be me. So you have a criminal justice background. So did
Mhm.
that motivate you to start focusing on children because you saw that there was, of course, there's a need, and basically to try to educate and to be able to weave children out that particular environment that you may have seen that may not have an opportunity to be able to advance in those areas? Is that your reason why you focus so much on children, and of course, trying to keep them out the prisons or keep them out the systems?
Well, yeah, I would say like before I even knew I was going into that field because I was a criminal justice major with associate's degree.
Okay.
I just always was actually when I look at old like writings from myself, I always thought I was going to be a judge.
Okay.
Never really the police officer, but see again the power.
Yeah.
Early
Mm-hmm.
on,
Mm-hmm.
it was the whole being a judge, but then I was like, okay, well maybe you got to be the attorney before you get to be the judge. But then I also know that I'm outspoken. So then the other part said they're gonna kill you because you talk and you're gonna tell it. I'm not gonna be one that could be in the corruption. So I was like, yeah, let me change that gear. But yeah, just growing, having my own children and that nurturing with them and their friends, that kind of spiraled into, I could see where the need is. I'm also was that PTO mom. I was at the schools, at the games. So it was just really starting to see there's a lack in there, them not knowing. So when like I said, already was a criminal justice major, I went back to school, and that's going back to school with children. That's rough and working.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So then that's when I decided that I wanted to specialize in the juvenile justice. However, I never wanted to work in the suppression part. So that became a little harder job wise, because mostly that's what's here is the prison systems. So you're either going to work in the detention center with the juveniles, but for me, I wanted to always be at the level of steering them the right way before they even got into trouble. And at that point where it's a little bit shaky, I can still help them. I never wanted to be a part of that end result of them being in jail. So you understand? So it's working with them at those early ages so they won't hopefully ever have to get to that level. So that's where some of my, job opportunities came in at, working with them, working with some that were in gangs. That doesn't deter me. That doesn't bother me. Because, that's a whole level of children that nobody want to talk about. A lot of times they're in them because their parents are in them. So I met those type of children and they didn't want to be in it. They're telling me, I don't want to do this, but what do you do if your parents are in the game?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good. That's beautiful. That's excellent.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
definitely understanding the idea of making sure that children are in the proper environment for them to grow. And one of the things that came across was you were a cheer coach as well. So that is, how did that basically resonate? Or was there a name that the team called you, like other than Coach Sabora? Or say, for instance, is there like a nickname? And also the interaction. How did that build a great bond with your team?
Yes. The coaching part that's how I initially started with a Boys and Girls Club in my area. So that's a lot of my background comes with working with them. So it started off with, that was just volunteering. My children played football. So you're around at those football games and practices. So then there goes the whole coaching thing for the girls. And to hopefully, again, that's an opportunity to instill certain things within them as young ladies. So that's how I actually started. And then the position opened up to say, hey, do you want to be, do you want a job being with a program coordinator? In it, they have a program, excuse me, called Street Smarts. And that's where that whole juvenile justice and my criminal justice came into full circle. Because in that, you're teaching them conflict resolution. So in that whole making great decisions and so forth. So it just came, for me, it was like that one thing of just volunteering came into a whole job. And then from there, it just over the years just developed. And that's how I ended up becoming a site director for Boys and Girls Club. So I've worked for them, the Y. I have homeschooled my children. So my oldest is 30 and I homeschooled him for a little bit. I've also homeschooled other people's children, tutored, substitute teaching. So everything I've did, no matter how I try to go away from that, because again, I am a businesswoman. I like that aspect, but it's like the children keep pulling you back in because I care sometimes too much, I think. Well, I don't know if it's a too much, but I care a lot.
Right.
So they became my babies. They are my babies.
And you can't turn your back. You can't turn your back away
That's
from
true.
that. Absolutely.
But it also comes in with that is, and I see it a lot because I'm at the schools and I see we have to, that's that's a real situation we have to discuss. As Black people, we're not there, especially where I am. We're not there. We're not present. So I took that upon myself that I'm like, hey, look at that little Black child, or he don't have nobody here at the award ceremony. I'm a clap for him. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's just like, then when my daughter, so I have a 30-year-old, a 26-year-old, and a newly 21-year-old. So I've always been into the schools with them. So I would see a lot. We're at sports events. But for my 21-year-old, she's my only daughter. She's the youngest. She was into robotics. She was into a lot of the academic aspects of school. We're definitely not there. And that's sad. So a lot of times we don't want to hear that. There go my son. Um, that's my oldest.
Wow, and this is incredible. This is incredible, and
Yeah, I should be on here listening, so I don't know.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Because
So
this
to
is the
me,
whole idea.
like that's the sports. That's where that came in at. So like I said, it was just like, hey, I'm their cheerleader, even though they might not know me and they don't know, but it hurts me to see. I have seen children look up in the stands. They're looking for their family, and there's
They
nobody
are.
there.
There you are.
So
They
yeah,
are. Okay. And Thaddeus, now is that
Thaddeus.
is that your son?
Yeah,
Pronounce it?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus. Thaddeus. Okay. Did you tell Thaddeus that I wanted him to come on our sports show to come on Saturdays? Thaddeus, you have an okay, Thaddeus. Okay. Come from me.
Yeah,
All right.
he gonna come for you.
Yes, this is incredible. And
Yeah.
he's a sports enthusiast and a bit of an analyst too, right?
Yeah, so much. Yeah, because he's yeah. I'm like, how much sports could a person talk about? That would
Oh,
be him. And he's
oh,
very factual. So sometimes, yeah, growing up, I didn't see the vision. He's like, be quiet, shut up.
no, no. Don't be quiet.
No, he didn't. He didn't, but that's how you feel as the parent. Like,
Oh boy.
shh.
Yeah. Oh boy. So
Yeah, so
uh,
he's very good with that.
behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen, Sister Sabora and I were talking. She was talking about her children, right? And she was talking about her youngest daughter, and she was talking about Thaddeus. And we were talking about what he's into. He said he's into sports. Thaddeus, we have one of the greatest sports shows anywhere aired around the world. It is off the chain. And these guys, just like you, they know their stuff. They don't have to sit in front of a computer. They
That's
just
him.
they know this stuff, right? They can tell you where a player came from. I'm talking about from college to the pros, wherever it is. They can tell you their background, who they were traded to, their
That's
stats.
him. That's right up his alley.
Today's okay. You have an official invitation live on the air. Okay,
That's cool.
okay. Go and comment in the
He's a
section.
coach. He's Coach T. My youngest son, he's actually the ball player. So he's basketball to his heart till he dropped. So he's trying to go to the NBA or overseas.
Oh,
Yeah, so they're
wow.
there. Yeah. So one coaching, one playing, and then like I said, you got the smarty already 21-year-old daughter. So yeah.
You go.
yes. Now let's talk
They're all
about your
smart,
young.
let me say that. They all smart.
Yeah.
They all smart. So
They
you have
all-
two boys. You have two boys and one girl, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the
Let's
grandma,
talk
they can't
about
forget the baby.
let's talk
Who
about
named
the
your
young
grandma?
lady. What's her name?
Samaya.
Samaya. Okay. We invited Samaya to come on. She
more-
declined for right now.
Yeah, she's more in the behind the scenes. So she's the producer of things, and I'm the mouthpiece. So she makes the art and she does all the photography. And she is the mama, see the business mama that'll blow up her work, and then I'll go sell her artwork. See, so,
I love this. As a matter of fact, I think I spoke to Rock, and Rock said, did she go to one of her showcases or one of her displays?
yes,
Okay. Yes.
yes.
I
Samaya
said
had
it-
she had a sculpture that went to I'm probably gonna mess up the State Museum here in
Okay.
North Carolina. So yeah, Rock beautiful. Didn't even know her. I was like, hey, did anybody want to go see my daughter's work? And Rock just showed up and she's like, I'm here. So that was just
Wow.
lovely to see that sisterhood in swing. Yeah, that where they was like, hey, you need somebody to show up for this or that. And they in the area because she's a student at UNCG in Greensboro.
Right. Right.
Hey, Rock. Yeah, Rock said, I'm here. She took pictures and I was like, wow, look at that. And I had never met Rock in person, but she went to go support my daughter's artwork and go see it and sent pictures. Yep.
Wow.
This is absolutely amazing. And she is going to do some traveling soon. And hopefully when she comes back, we're going to have her on this network.
I'm hoping so. Like I said, she is pretty quiet and behind the scenes out of all of us for the most part.
Tell her it's
But she
okay.
does a lot of
It's
good
okay.
work. Yeah, and
Tell-
a lot of
it's-
volunteer work and stuff like that. So
Right. Tell her it's okay. It's just a microphone. You know, we're just having a conversation. It just happens to be broadcast around the world, but that's all right. It's no big.
So that's
You
where
might
it's
not
at.
want to
So
tell
that's
her
the gift.
that. You might want to wait till after the
Yeah.
I
fact.
know, right? Yeah, that might run it, but she probably listening. I hope probably in the other room. But yeah,
Okay,
she's going to
that's great.
Korea in the next
And,
couple of weeks to
and
study
speaking of
abroad.
which, let me just share some credentials with you, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening right now, YouTube is Studio W The Buzz. That's live. And then you can also go back and listen to this show again on YouTube. Studio W The Buzz. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. It's a brand new channel. We're trying to grow that and it's free. So all we need for you to do is subscribe. Also, if you don't hear the show again in its entirety, please subscribe to the website. That's Studio W Buzz, Buzz. It goes around the world. If you have friends outside of the country, they can still check it out. Studio W Buzz, available on Google Play, Apple CarPlay, Alexa, and the StudioWBuzz.com and streaming. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to end this. I'm going to any final comments or questions with our pet. Oh, before we do
Oh,
that,
my middle child trying to comment. He said he didn't know how to comment on here.
now who was that?
My middle son, Samad. Yeah, my middle child, rather, my youngest son. So he was
Okay.
trying to get on here though.
Oh my
I
goodness!
told you they gotta be listening. That's support. That's family.
Studio W The Buzz on Facebook. You can comment there. Studio W The Buzz. Let me see if I. Yep.
Yeah, he's listening. He just didn't know how to comment. He said.
Oh my God! It's on the Facebook. You can comment. LinkedIn, Twitter, Studio W Buzz. You can do it from any of those platforms. But also keep in mind, download that app. Oh, I forgot about the app. It's free. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ladies and gentlemen, check out the Buzz. Great music. I'm telling you. Great music, talk, sports, entertainment, and a whole lot more. If you want to go to, if you have an Android, just go to your Play Store. And that's Studio W. Studio W. Apple, Studio W. Apple finally got it fixed. Oh my goodness. Studio W. Available on Google Play, Apple CarPlay, Alexa, a whole lot more. Now, oh boy, is this your son right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my daughter said, of course they listening. See,
Yes, yes.
love them.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I
they
love it. I
texted
love
me.
it.
She's texting me.
I love it. So,
Yeah, that
bro,
is my son. Yeah, my youngest son.
you are absolutely amazing. And I
Yes.
thank you for what you do, not only with your business, and more importantly, what you are doing for children. I want you, oh, I'm going to go over a couple of minutes. Tell us some of the most inspirational stories that you have from children that you've tutored, educated, motivated, and inspired.
Wow. Oof. I can say maybe one of the first things or old that really resonated was I seen one of my older now, but one of my students from the Boys and Girls Club or members, and he remembered who I was just walking past him, and he told me that he was thankful that of for what I taught him because it helped him apply it in his everyday life. Like resolution, like I told you, I did conflict resolution. So he applied some of those lessons in his life. So that touched me a lot. So yeah, mostly I think one of the brothers asked, "What am I?" I'm called Coach V still, so that's how I know where they remember me from. You know, you got different kid names, childhood names. It's like somebody say, "Hey, Coach V,"
Right.
I know it come from way back at the Boys and Girls Club years ago. So that resonated, and I would say most recently was one of my members because I just actually April decided to resign. So May 28th was my last day with this particular Boys and Girls Club. But one of the members, watching her I mean, it touches me because that's why I do what I do, though. But watching her develop into, it was a child that, we'll just say, and I'm not knocking any teachers, Rock knows that I love the teachers, but we also know everybody could shape up in certain areas, and you have some that care more than others. So the little girl had a teacher that pretty much, I guess, figured she wasn't going to learn. She had some disabilities. I don't know for sure, and it doesn't matter. So when she would come to us for after school, I would take it upon myself to work with her one-on-one. So this child went from, and mind you, she's in 3rd grade. She went from scrabbling, where you could hardly read her name, to where I would sit down and I would go over her letters with her, read to her like little, actually she didn't have homework because another student said, the teacher said she can't do it. I don't like that. I don't come from the can'ts. So I went to just something like Dollar Tree and bought her a workbook. Oh, there go my daughter. So yeah, I bought a workbook for her on my own, and I would tear a page out and I would just go over that work with her. But the key was I took her backwards, because sometimes our children are being advanced to the next grade, but they're not on that level.
Right.
So school's kind of pushing and passing them through, which is very not, bad. So I go backwards. I see where the child is, and I'm going to meet them where they are. So I will go over work with her on my own, but I could see her progress reports changing, where she's starting to get better grades. And, of course, we'll probably never get the recognition for that, but it comes from that whole me working with her one-on-one and after school. So I see a need and I can feel it.
Absolutely. Now, Robert, if you have some announcements, but before you do that, because there's some things that's coming up, we want to talk about that. But let's go back to Sister Sabora. If someone wants to buy your products or talk to you about your business or whatever it is, how do they contact you?
The best way is, I would say, well, I think I saw it earlier. I'm on a different platforms everywhere, but as Sabora Muhammad, I am on Facebook, so I can always be reached there and through Messenger. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok too, but that's more my silly self. Just having a good time. Everybody laughing. Just saying. And then also, I mean, you waste a lot of time on TikTok.
So you said this is some of your silly stuff. Okay, so now
and Instagram stuff. See, Facebook is a little different. But
so are you a closet comedian as well?
I would say comedian, but I like to cut up a little bit. It's the fun side. I don't know how my children feel about that, but sometimes I might be on there spinning around in my chair. Who knows? But
love it.
It is what it is.
This is too
but
good.
then also, I do have a business number, so I don't mind people calling me there, which is 704-884-5664.
Okay, repeat that. Repeat that, please.
704. I had to look that up because you don't call yourself much. 704-884-5664. That's the best way to reach me. Don't encourage that she is not funny. I'm not funny.
You see what your son posted? You see?
Wow.
Yes.
He part of my cut up sometimes too. Okay, I got you, Coach T.
This is so much fun. Yeah. This is so much fun. You got to promise us to come back. Will you?
Sure, anytime. Look, as you heard, we call it my retirement. So I retired at the end of the day. So I have nothing but time. And work if I do.
So I do have a question to ask you. Is this, we don't really call them interviews, we call them conversations, but say for the sake of the audience, is this the first radio interview you've had or not?
Yes.
It is. Yeah, well, we're glad to be the first
on YouTube doing pod. I do like what do you call it? Recordings of myself on YouTube or Instagram, like I said. But as far as something like this, it definitely is.
Well, guess what? This will not be the last, especially on this network. You are absolutely delightful.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for doing this,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you all for inviting me, though.
Okay,
Thank
and your
Rob
son's
for
name
setting that up.
is it Thaddeus?
Today.
Tadeus. Okay,
Today.
Tadeus. Okay, give me a call. Okay. You in a groove swing mafia here now. So you're not going anywhere. And Robert, what announcements do you have for us?
Yeah, so no, I want to say if Tiffany or Tanisha or any announcements that you have, to go first.
I do. Tiffany, did you want to go? You want me to go?
It doesn't matter.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Jonathan Butler is June 14th at 8 o'clock at the Harrison Opera House in Norfolk, Virginia. So please join us. For
That's June 14th.
Yes, it is on a Friday, I think at 8 o'clock at the Harrison Opera House.
Okay.
That's my announcement.
All right. Tanisha. I'm sorry. Tiffany.
No, Robert, do you well, I know you're probably gonna announce the Summertime Groove is this Saturday in Greensboro, North Carolina. I wanna say the hours are from 12 to 6. Don't quote me, I wanna say. But yes, Summertime Groove, and you can purchase the tickets through Eventbrite.
That's right. It's going to be from 1 to 6 p.m. June 8th. It's going to be at 6309 Southwest Park Drive in Greensboro, North Carolina. Tickets $25 in advance, $30 at the door. But definitely come out to have a great time, meet as many people as possible. Just have some good vibes, good fun, good music, everything. I'll also say the Greater Cleveland Graduate Chapter of Swing 5 Swing Social Scholarship Incorporated, they're holding their first annual scholarship fundraiser. And that's going to be taking place June 22nd from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. Available information can be found by dialing 440-622-6026. Once again, that's 440-622-6026. Or you can find out more information by going to swing5swingcleveland@gmail.com to purchase tickets. Once again, swing5swingcleveland@gmail.com. Also, basically, and next, really July, there's no other place to be, really. Cookout is going to be taking place July 6th. For our organizations, Groove 5 Groove and Swing 5 Swing Social Fellowships Incorporated will be there at the Watchung Reservation on Mountainside, New Jersey. If you've never been to a cookout before, this is the one you need to be at, because this one is well known worldwide. I want to say not worldwide, but definitely is the place to be.
It's worldwide now.
One, you gotta be at one. July 6th. It's a Saturday, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And also 2024, July 17th to 21st, we're all going to be in Miami for a 2024 Miami Conclave. We have vintage party for 70s, 80s, and 90s events.
Wow.
The Youth Empowerment Summit as well, where we bring in our young people to show who we are as individuals, standing upright people in the community. Various different white parties are going to be taking place, as well as also the Black Excellence Gala to celebrate who we are as excellent Black people in the community. And I heard something about a yacht party too, but then that's something else as well. So, but definitely take note. And if you're in the Miami area, July 17th to 21st, we're going to be there. So that's all the announcements we've got.
Outstanding. Now, I tell you what,